What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Colonel Niggly, and or Nanook52 if you prefer it that way, because some people like that name better, but it really doesn't matter to me. Anyways, and today I'm doing a very special video, actually. It's not any normal gaming video, it's actually something that's personal about me video. I was actually checking through my Yahoo mail, and I noticed that I was tagged for something on Twitter. Something called the 5 emotions tag by This Guy Plays, and I was like, well, first of all, I'm not really on Twitter a lot, so I'm actually glad I checked my messages on, my Yahoo shit. Yeah, I got Yahoo still. I'm too lazy to upgrade it. But anyways, so I checked it, and I'm glad I do, because I don't really be on Twitter much. Really, it's just the automatic account from YouTube doing most of the work, but I'm glad I still checked it anyway, because I can tell that I actually been tagged. So I think what I'm supposed to do is explain how these emotions apply to me. I guess all 5 of them. I'm gonna be doing happy, fear, sadness, anger, and disgust. I believe is the ones I chose. I'm not sure if there's any other ones. I just chose these ones because these are the most obvious ones to do. But the first thing I guess I would start with is happiness. Well, it's obvious what makes me happy around here is the fact that I do gaming, YouTube, gaming with friends on YouTube, etc., saying stupid, funny shit that makes no sense whatsoever. That is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why. It makes me feel better. It cheers me up every single time. Like every single time I say some stupid shit, and other people's laugh too. That's even better once I say the most stupidest shit and it makes people laugh. And it means I made somebody else's day better. Most importantly, I made my own day better that way. I just love it. I just love that fact that happens. You should be amazed. I did it on 4th of July. I was with my friends, my actual real life friends, the two that I do have, and we just spent the entire time playing games and doing stupid shit outside, actually. And we just had a blast, just playing stupid shit. I actually recorded some of it. I think I might upload a bit of it. But anyways, back on topic here. I feel like that's one of the things that make me happy, besides food, eating. I love eating a lot. I think that if I had to find a job, I'd find some kind of culinary job where I can find cooking. Because so far, I'm pretty great at cooking most things that I've learned to cook. So there's that. So it's basically gaming, friends, stupid shit, and eating is basically what makes me happy. Now, fear. That's a harder one because I'm not really scared of most stuff that normal people are scared of. I don't have any phobias of any sort. So I'm just you know, scared of the most usual shit. You know, death, losing deaf ones, pandas in space with dildo launchers. You know, the normal shit. Normal shit that people fear. Stuff like that. Now, sadness. Now, this is a good one. It's actually slightly funny, but mostly it's pretty sad. It is pretty sad, but it has a good cause to it though, so it kind of makes me the way a person I am now, as far as the morals and values and honesty and all this stuff that makes me the type of person I am today. But anyways, so the most thing that I say would be saddening would be my social life, like outside the computer, you know, life outside. It's all scary and shit. Well, I can tell you that it started out in high school, I guess. Actually, no, for a while, I've been actually pretty acquainted with anybody that I met. I usually there was always somebody who wants to talk shit and probably pick on me. That's normal. I didn't really have any bullies much, besides the normal pick on me. I say something back and it goes back and forth for a while, then it's done. I didn't really have much bullies, because honestly, I didn't let myself get bullied. I just couldn't do it. As soon as somebody tried to bully me, I just stomped it out. So I never worried about that. But I didn't really have much friends. I had lots and lots of acquaintances. I got along with literally almost every group of person you can think of. But I didn't really have any friends. So my own social life outside the school was nothing. I really didn't have much, because there's a reason why I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But basically, outside the school, I had nothing because, well, I can tell you now. Well, I guess the best way to tell you is how I was raised. I was basically a shoo-in, and besides school, I didn't do anything else. I was basically sheltered a lot for the simple fact that my mother mainly my mother, but my mother and father were actually pretty much troublesome people in their younger lives, and they always wanted the best. You know how great parents are. They always wanted the best out of their children, so my mother was I'm just listening to the stories that my grandmother, who changed all completely from back then too, by the way, and I'm just listening to the stories that they've told me about how much ruthless my mother used to be. It's crazy, and we can all laugh about it now, but back then it was pretty crazy, but the stuff they used to tell me, and she was pretty much a troubled child. But so take that and compare it to what they wanted to improve on their first child, and I'm the first child, so therefore I didn't get out a lot because they wanted to avoid any way possible for me to be in this much trouble as they did. And now at this age, I'm regretting it a lot because during high school, my first freshman high school year, I didn't take it seriously. To be fair, I didn't take it seriously as much as I should have taken it. I could have took it 10 times more seriously, but to be honest with you, the teachers weren't really much help either. You know, I at some point wanted to learn a little bit, but I was still trying to balance out social life, which is that's actually the irony in all this. I ended up paying for it in the end of all. But anyways, especially my math teacher, that's where I struggled the most. It was math. She did not want to really help me. I guess she profiled me before she even got to know me. That I'm probably some kid that didn't want to learn. That was my fault. But still, at the time being, when the class first started, I just wanted to learn. This stuff was way too new to me because in middle school there was a little thing that happened where I had to be rooted back in math material. But anyway, so all this stuff is new to me and I couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, teacher, hey, can you help me? And she's like, are you paying attention? I'm like, yes. And you should have been paying attention. That's all I got out of her. She didn't go back and help me, and then she said you should have been paying attention. I'm writing notes about stuff. So anyways, I failed that. I failed a lot of the classes that I didn't take seriously, mostly all that. And I ended up being taken out of brick and mortar high school and ended up being in K-12. And this is when the social life just said, because after that, I only had 2 friends that I made in high school that year, people I knew, that I became more acquaintances. I have 2 friends, they know who they are, and Bob and Lewis. Anyway, so those are only 2 friends that I actually see as far from outside world. So basically I don't get out much because I don't go to high school anymore. I don't have that social life because I was a shoo-in all the time. You know, when I was younger, I was lucky that I had games because it distracted me from the fact that no matter, it was basically a tooth and pull method to try to get to go to someone's friend's house even when I wanted to. Never wanted to because it never really bothered me. It never really bothered me because as long as I had my game, I didn't give a shit. But when I wanted to go, I'm starting to pay for it now because it's like, now I'm like, when I turn 17, 18, 19, I'm starting to realize now that I'm basically fucked because back then I couldn't go nowhere. I mean, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't go nowhere because I wasn't allowed to. It just wasn't there. You had to pull some serious strings. But now that I'm allowed to, I'm just like, okay, what do I do now? I'm still trying to figure that out, so it's a little saddening, but yet kind of funny if you think about it. But me and mother the other day was talking about clubs. I'm like, what the fuck is a club? You know, I'm like, not a normal club where you get drink, but for like non-drinking clubs, I don't know what the hell that was. Like, I didn't even know there was clubs in my place. I don't really know anything about the outside world. That's sadly. So, but I find it great that when I do actually go out there a little bit, that I actually have a pretty good time, considering the fact that I fit in with almost everyone, so I can find someone to, you know, talk to and whatnot. So that's a good thing. But basically, I spent most of my life in the house mostly, and I was glad I had games because I pretty much would probably be depressed more if I didn't have games thinking about that. But you know, I can't really complain too much now because honestly, because I was sheltered from all this shit that could have probably happened, I don't give in to peer pressure. You know, I don't do that. I don't have urges to do dumb shit that's not even appropriate, like steal cars and all this shit that my acquaintances that I knew back in high school, I'm just sitting back watching them all going to jail, getting girls pregnant and all that shit, you know. All that is just, my mother never worried about that. I was like the best child ever, apparently, compared to that. So I do think that, but in the downfall, I lost lack of social life. I can't really say I'm antisocial because when I do socialize, online or offline, I'm just like a butterfly when it comes to it. So I can't really say I'm socially awkward, but that's where I'll put my category. So that's how sadness is. Sorry that was a little bit longer than I wanted to be, but that basically just explained my social life in a nutshell. Now, anger, that's also a hard one because nothing really angers me besides the fact that I can't see my own damn forehead. I mean, you know, that's just normal. Nothing really angers me. But now, disgust. What disgusts me, what I think is disgusting, you would think that most people would say, like, grossness of people spitting, vomiting, gross shit, eating stupid shit. No. What disgusts me is one of the most humanity things I don't understand whatsoever. First of all, bullies. I don't understand it. I never understood the whole thing about bullies. Like, I understand the whole picking and name calling and all that little shit. It doesn't mean nothing to me. But when you physically put your hands on someone and mentally bully them and physically bully them. That disgusts me. I don't understand the urge for people to do that. I don't get it. I'm having a hard time figuring it out. Maybe because they feel like it makes them feel better about themselves. I don't know. I get really, really disgusted when I see someone putting someone down for like being fat, skinny, nerdy-ish, stuff like that. And I'm like, why? I don't understand it. It just really makes me grossed out for the fact that people have the nerve to actually do this shit. And I've been watching people. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. I actually stand up for a lot of people in high school. When I actually went to high school, for that little bit of time, I couldn't stand it. I mean, it didn't make no sense to me. People were ganging up on people, and like, I didn't understand it. It just makes me feel so inadequate to know that people actually does this. I don't understand bullying at all, and it really makes me disgust that people can think this is okay, so that for you to mess with someone because they're fat or they're ugly, just because you don't approve of them, that kind of thing. That really disgusts me, and I don't like it. Another thing that disgusts me is cheaters. And I'm not talking about, oh, I met this girl and she thinks we all cool and all, I did this and that, then I met another girl. See, there's a difference between that and actually having a girlfriend, and there's a really, really huge difference between that and being married. See, when you have a girlfriend, it disgusts me a lot when you just think you can just go around cheating on people. But it really, really, really makes me sick to my stomach to find out that people that are married are cheating out on their wives and their husbands. And it's like, you don't realize that you sat there and did your vows and made a commitment. You should have thought about that before making a commitment, because once I see that, I'm just like completely disgusted. I don't want to think about, I'm sorry, if you've been a cheat in your life, you're going to probably have a hard time, unless you have a really legit reason. And there's not really a lot of reasons that I would accept, but I have a hard time being friends with people who are bullies, cheaters, and mostly another thing that does it, manipulators. Like people who like to use people, trick their mind, use it like silly putty to get what they want. Oh my goodness, the most. It just disgusts me now. And this is sometimes worse than cheating, because they can use this to their advantage all over the place, especially when it's like a boyfriend and girlfriend. They can manipulate someone or like other people, and they just use them. I just hate it when it's most human. I'm all over the place, because this is something that I really cannot stand. Is bullies, cheaters, and manipulators. Like, if I don't understand what I'm saying about manipulators, it's basically when I'm using you, you don't know that I'm using you, because I've been so skilled at manipulating people that you have no idea that I'm just using you for getting something that I want. Like, I know a lot of people that try to be friends with me, but I thank God that I'm able to catch this. I can tell when most of the time if I'm being used, most of the time. Sometimes I didn't, but people would come to me and they would try to use me for whatever reasons. One reason is that at some point I actually was good at English. People wanted to use me for English homeworks and shit, which I have no problem giving people answers. So I don't understand why you're trying to use me to begin with. You had to trick me. I don't really care about people copying answers and shit like that. I never cared about that, because it didn't make no sense to me. Because I knew that sometimes, you know what I mean. But anyways, I just understand how people manipulate people when it came to like shit like lunch money and stuff like that. This is just a high school level, but I'm talking about way beyond that. Like, people get manipulated to buy people things. Some people get manipulated into living with someone for free, and they don't carry their weight, stuff like that. It just drives me nuts, And I'm probably rambling for the longest, but this is basically my 5 emotions. But sorry, I had to clear my throat for a second. Basically, that's happiness, that's fear, that's sadness, that's anger, disgust, happiness, gaming, YouTube, gaming with friends that I do have, etc., etc. Fear, pandas with dildo launchers. That's basically what I can say. That shit is scary. You go ahead and meet that shit. You're thinking now that it's stupid that I said that, but when you see that shit, you be like, holy shit, you're just gonna shit bricks. I'm just saying. Sadness, my social life, but I am working on it, so I'm trying my best to work on that, so I'm working on that. Anger, not really much besides seeing my forehead, but I get disgusted a lot. I do not really get annoyed either. I got 2 friends. One of them he know who he is. He's a pretty annoying person, but he doesn't really faze me that much. He knows he's annoying, but you know I love you, man. You know who you are. But anyways, he's all like, fuck you. Anyways, I guess I'm rambling too long. I'm not sure how long people would want these things, but anyways, that is what my 5 emotions are. So if you like what you saw, or listen to, go ahead and give a like button. If you have any similar experiences, go ahead and share them. I would love that a lot. So I know I'm not alone with these feelings, because I'm not sure why I even agreed to this, really. But anyways, yeah. And if you have anything, go ahead and like. If you really like my content, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to force somebody to subscribe. You do whatever you want, man. Or woman, or lady, alien thingy, whatever you are. So I'm going to go ahead and see you guys next time. Laters. Oh, shit. I almost forgot. I'm supposed to tag to people, too. Okay, here. I got people I'm going to tag here. I'm going to tag Mag Sam, Razio11, I forgot if that's his real name or not, if I said that right or not. Shit. Jesse Justice, Two Kiki Friends, and Biba Dever. I think that's how you say that right. Got him! If I had to do it, you guys gotta do it too. Ha! Have funs!